Hi, welcome to another week of our certification class. Just as a reminder, I'm Vanessa Ewing.
Gail Stein.
And Sherry Creel.
And we're talking about questioning techniques this week. Let's get started. So this week we are continuing with our discussion of advanced questioning techniques to get to that higher level of learning for students. A bit of a presentation overview here. We are looking at trying to help our students with improved learning through some more advanced questioning techniques and strategies, and we're also going to be looking at how to differentiate products through choice menus. I'd like you to take a moment to just really recall your own personal experiences, and we will as well. Think about who your favorite teachers were and what your favorite classes were growing up. I know a part of that for me, and that goes back to the affective needs of students as well. A big part was just if I could tell the students or the teachers rather were really passionate about things and were truly caring about me and valuing me as a student. But the other piece was that really hands-on, creative, passion-based piece. How about for you guys?
Well, I'm remembering a teacher that he was a physiology teacher in high school, and he just made things fun. He brought in a skeleton, he had creative tests, and he made learning fun. I had another teacher that just reached out to me as an individual and showed he cared about me, and he would joke with me. So I think for me, I liked people that made learning fun and used humor.
And the teacher I am recalling was a very unique teacher, especially when I was growing up. He didn't have anybody in a row. We sat in circles or we sat on the floor. And this is many years ago. He was just very different, very creative. He was our speech and language teacher. It was just incredible, the things that he could bring out in kids and made us feel great about what we were doing all the time.
I always think about that second question, which is, how might your experiences as a child affect the types of activities and strategies we use now? And I think some of the things we do as far as this students in a row or taking all the paper and pencil tests, those end of unit assessments where it's just a cut and dry, what percent did you get right on those convergent types of questions. It's just, that's the way we did it, and that's the way our teachers did it, and that's the way our teachers did it, And so without being purposeful about our teaching, we fall back to the default of the way we were taught as, first graders or seventh graders or whatever grade. Well, today we're looking at, really that idea, and Bertie Kingor referred to this as well, is, we know what is good for the gifted is good for all students. And I've talked to a couple of you one-on-one now. That's a piece that please keep touching base with me as we go along. That idea that, it's not just good for my gifted students, it's good for all of my students. And so we were going to look at two aspects of differentiation today, one process and one product. And we wanted to take a little bit of time now to talk about process differentiation through a variety of questioning techniques. And we're going to go through some examples in a little bit here. But we're thinking about tools and resources we can use as we're trying to reach for those higher levels of learning. And that's for all students. We can differentiate within that. But for our students with special needs as well, and Bertie talked about this also, we don't want flat recall where there isn't connection. We want those higher level questions even for the students that are struggling, but it's really going to help differentiating within that blossom our highest potential students in terms of their academics. Next week we're going to be looking at depth and complexity in particular related to Q3 cards. I know we have some examples there today as well. And then there were some specific techniques related to questioning that Bertie Kingor refers to as well. So we had a few things here. One is choice for students in the questions, the actual questions they have to answer, and then some open-ended questions regarding, that are needing extended responses versus a yes, no, or it was good, or I give it a 10, right? And then we want to make sure as well that we're connecting as much as possible across content areas to their real life, and so it has some more meaningful learning.
So this is an example of an extension menu. This one's made for 7th grade math, but you can use it in absolutely any content area that you would like to. And basically, some people call it a tic-tac-toe board, some people call it extension menu, some people call it a choice board. Basically, it's just giving, using a board to have different activities listed on it related to what you are teaching at the certain time that that you're using this information, and kids can choose which one to do first or second or third. Sometimes you might have them do all of them, just like a blackout board, or you may say pick 2 of them, or pick 2 in a row, or 3 in a row, however you choose to use it. But it allows kids choice, and that's important for kids because it helps them take ownership of their own learning.
So now you're looking at another example of a choice board. This one is focused on literacy. It's simplified so that there are 6 choices instead of 9. And it also brought in depth and complexity focus for the activities. You can make choice boards for any grade level. You can make them as complex or as simple as fits the needs of your kids. It's a great way to differentiate. So you could use this for your whole class, or you could use it for those students that need to go deeper. If you have students that you want an extra challenge for, or you want to work on a specific thing, you could assign certain ones. For instance, you have to do these 2 first before you get to make your choice. You can design it any way you want to. There's a lot of things that you can put into choice boards. This is a packet of cards that were created to use either individually with the whole class, with individuals, with groups, or as part of choice boards. Here's a couple of examples. Here's one example. Using the depth and complexity icon of ethics or other ones, kids can create a Venn diagram about the topic that you're studying. For those students in your classroom who are geared more artistically, they might enjoy having this as one of their choices, and that is to use a shape, could be a letter or a shape, to draw a response, to turn it into a picture, answering a question that has to do with the topic that you're studying. And here's a third example of an activity you might use. This one has to do with meaning motivation. It comes from a Kingor activity. You give them the answer. The answer could be something you're studying, such as Harry Potter, or today's answer is multiplication. And students have to come up with questions with that answer.
Our goal for questioning really is related, I think, well to this poem that's also in your text. We've taught you that the earth is round, that red and white make pink, and something else that matters more. We've taught you how to think. Dr. Seuss and Jack Prelusky. Is it Prelusky? Prelusky. Anyways, good authors there for sure. Thank you so much for joining us for this overview to this week.
Thank you.
As a reminder from our cheers and our first in-class session together, we'll end with a little roller coaster cheer. Are you ready? Woo!